Okay, welcome to the Bridgeforth Brothers, episode number one. We're hopefully going to be coming out with an episode every single week, ideally every single week. We'll see if we get the time and the time off of work. But this episode is going to be a simple introduction. We hope to keep all the episodes about 30 minutes or shorter, ideally, so short and sweet. This episode, again, is just going to be an introduction to everyone. So we're going to start off. Joseph and Keith are on the line as well. Maybe someday Quentin and Isaac will join us. So we're going to start off. Joseph, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joseph Bridgeforth. I currently run cross country at San Diego Christian College, and this coming up season will be my third year. So I ran cross country, and I also ran cross country in high school all 4 years, and I played lacrosse in high school also. Right now, I work full-time job. Actually, it's mostly part-time, full-time part of the year, and then I go to school full-time. Right now I'm taking 17 units, and then I'm majoring in business administration. So hopefully I graduate within a year and a half. So the fall of 2015, I think that would be when I graduate. That's my ideal date to graduate. So hopefully I'll be done by then. And then I don't know. I've just been getting involved in the running, fitness, health community a lot, and just love hearing people's stories about how they're doing health-wise and fitness-wise, and just people in general, just anything that has to do with getting healthy always excites me. So that's me.
Okay. Also, I forgot to mention in the beginning that our podcast, our podcast is going to be focused around running, diet, and anything that us three decide to bring up as a topic in one of these shows. So today, those are kind of two things. I'm just going to have them interview or them explain as well, and I'll explain myself. They'll be asking me questions. So, just a shout out to everyone. We are all three plant-powered. All three of us eat vegan diets. However, I don't know about Isaac and Quentin, the youngest two. One of the other
they're vegan. They're vegan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No choice?
Yep. They don't eat that meat and dairy crap.
So thanks for following along again. So Joseph, go ahead and explain your diet a little bit and how you came to be a vegan.
Well, I guess I went plant-based vegan, 100%, like January 1st. Around January, I mean, I would go on and off, 2 weeks on, and then I would take a couple days and just binge on stuff that is not good for you, and then I'd get back on it. But I really started to go plant-based in July of last year, but then I would have a good couple of weeks, and then I would just go right back at it. So I mean, it took me six months to actually fully cut out meat, dairy, animal byproduct, and everything. And then from there, I just started really understanding what's good for me, what makes me feel good, and what doesn't. And so I've started to drink a lot of smoothies. So banana smoothies, and then frozen fruits, and then I also drink a lot of juices, and then I'll have rice, potatoes. That's pretty much very simple diet. And then if I ever go out to eat, it's always vegan, whether that's a burrito, vegetarian burrito, or if I just get rice, or if it's a vegan burger, whatever it is, it's always vegan. If I go out with my girlfriend or something, so.
I thought smoothies were bad for you, though.
No, smoothies aren't bad for you.
That's what they say.
Fruit doesn't make you fat. It makes you skinny.
Keith, why'd you start plant-powered diet?
I don't even know, to be honest. I got a call from you. So Alex called me up and was like, bro, I've been doing this vegan thing, and I've been running fast times and stuff, or I've been getting healthier, so you should try it. So I was like, all right. So 2 years ago in June, of 2012, I basically went plant-powered for about 3 months, and then I was, going strong, and then one of my friends took me out to get some Phil's barbecue ribs. And so I ate those, and I was like, I never could be vegan again. So needless to say, I stopped for about a month, and then I got unhealthy, and I was like, nope, I'm going back. This is ridiculous. So then in June, and then in April of 2013, I basically went on like a fruitarian diet for about 6 months. I did eat some cooked food every now and again, but it was mostly a fruitarian diet, and that's mostly what I do now. I do eat some cooked rice every now and again, but I try to stay.
How much rice at one time?
1,500 calories.
As much as you want. As much as I want. I mean, I've figured out that about 2 cups of uncooked rice is about my limit, but...
How many calories is that?
I don't know. Let me...
1,200. It's about 1,200 calories. 2 1/4 cups is about 1,500.
Okay.
So.
About 2 cups is my limit.
So, since we are all about running and diet, pretty much, this one's to Keith, and you guys can always chime in and ask me questions too. This one's to Keith. When did you start running? Because I remember a day, and I mean, heck, this podcast is a twin brothers, so why not tell stories? I remember a day, at least from my point of view, that we were running. It was a 13-mile training run, and we had a fast section, or a section that I thought we should be running harder, and Keith was walking or running slow, and got super pissed off about something. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And took sprinting off. And, of course, I let him go because I could have caught him, but I didn't want to piss him off anymore. So those were the good old days of running, and I could show pictures of that later on if we need to. Because we all were overweight.
Obese. We all were fat.
So
I was the fattest.
Go back to the time, just talk about the time that you actually started running, or started with a desire to want to run, outside of me just yelling at you to do it.
Oh gosh. Well, I hated running, and I don't know why I run right now, but I started to like it once I played lacrosse in college, and then I stopped, and I started. There's still like a level of competition, a level of training that you get from running that is hard to fulfill when you're an athlete. So when you run, you still get to train, and you still get to perform. But mostly the reason I started to really get into running is when I get on a run, I feel like I can lose track of almost everything, and it's just me and me just out there, and I can just have fun. So I don't really know if I'm about running fast or running slow. I wish I could run faster, but hey, whatever.
So what? You remember like a specific race or a specific whatsoever of when you? I mean, you just said you didn't like running back then, and I remember you getting cussed out by coaches, and
probably
it was a long time ago.
Operation Jack.
Yeah, probably around. No, before that I liked running. Once I found out that it was going to be a challenge to run and that I could actually get pretty good at it, that's when I really started to enjoy it. I mean, I remember the first run I did with you was like a 6-mile run, and I think it took us like an hour and 40 minutes or 2 hours or something. And I just had bought in brand new shoes, and I didn't have fun on that run, but I started to find out that it was something that I can control. I can control how fast I can go. I can control how far I get to go, and then that's when I started enjoying it. When I found out that like I could make it my own personal thing, I started to enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah. So for Joseph, I'm just gonna we're gonna keep going here. I think, and I mean I speak for myself, and I speak for Keith and Joseph. Our dad will tell you that I spoke for everyone a lot when I was younger.
Yes, he did.
I think in all three of our rights, we're all. I mean, I feel that we're all inspirations in a different way. Honestly, Keith's come from probably being the most overweight out of at least the three of us on here, and I mean it's been it's a radical change, and I can show you guys pictures later on another podcast in the future of just what the radical change that Keith's gone through with his diet, and then with running as well. Keith went from DNFing their first. Joseph and Keith both DNF'd their first marathon, and I might as well have DNF'd it because I was freaking broke after it. But with both of them, what?
I said I didn't walk for the next 2 days. I crawled around.
They were crawling around the house.
Well, I was.
So Keith's come from that to now having run a 50-kilometer race, attempting 100K, and getting 50K of it done, basically on a jacked up IT band or jacked up something. So he got through that, and then Joseph in the same right. Joseph's come from running in high school and just excelling at a sport and going into running in college and only getting faster and being the best runner on his team. So don't let either of them try to be humble about running. They both exceeded it, and then hopefully we'll find another 100K, and I'll say the 100K story for another podcast in the future because that can be.
I think we both committed to do a Bandera next year.
I know. I just need to make sure I'm here, ready to run myself. So for me, I'll give some of my background, and then let Keith and Joseph pester me with questions. My background in running, I always start off in 2011, January. I almost failed the Army PT test run. It's a 2-mile event, time trial or 2-mile race, basically. And for my age group of, my age group at the time of 23 and under, you had to run a 16:36, so like an 8:15-ish pace. At that point, I got back from Christmas and spending time with the family, eating really unhealthy, and probably being around 170 pounds, and basically running like a 16:30, so I had like 6 seconds to spare. And I was just super pissed off, super frustrated with myself. I was out of breath and out of shape, and just ready to make a huge change. And at that time, I'd read Born to Run, and I know there's multiple issues with Born to Run, but I will say it's a fictional, non-fictional book. There's some truth to it, some not, but it's still inspirational at the least. So at that point, I'd read about these 40 people that can run 50 miles to 100 miles, and so I decided screw it, I'm going to start training for a marathon. Even though I only run 2 miles, if I can run 26 miles, I assume I could run 2 miles pretty fast. So that's when I started training. Since then, I have officially joined the Army. I'm an officer here at Fort Hood, and then I've also now gone on to complete, multiple marathons, multiple 50Ks and longer, a couple 50 milers, and then one 100-miler last year that Keith actually paced me, and paced me the whole 50 miles or the last 50 miles.
Back half.
That'll be another story one day by Keith, and I mean Joseph can join in on that one too because he'll have heard probably plenty from Keith about it. So that's my running history. Any questions about that?
How did you get involved with RWV?
Okay, so RWB definitely came from running. So I've always this is my second duty station actually, or second place I've been stationed with the Army, and originally I was at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and there they have an awesome mountain bike community, awesome I would say an awesome mountain bike community and road bike community. So you're able to join in on group rides and different things like that. But there was never a group run or group runs or anything like that. So I always had to run by myself up in the mountains, on the roads, wherever, just throughout the week. And so when I came to Fort Hood, I was again looking for a group to run with. And it just so happened Team RWB was the first one I found. And it was, I started running with them on Sunday mornings, and it's grown now to where we have, 20 people show up for a run on a Sunday, and 5 to 6 people show up for a really long run on Saturdays. We have, just in the Fort Hood chapter alone, we have over 500 people in our chapter, our community at the time, or at this time. And so, again, we're trying to just continually grow. Right now, I'm the athletic director for Fort Hood. I'm Team RWB, so I just basically schedule or help schedule athletic events as well as just running as much as I'm focused on it, and help just basically get people integrated with the community. Help get veterans like myself in the future reintegrated with the community, reintegrated with each other through athletic and social activities. So we have people that go and volunteer at races. We have people that do the races. We have luncheons that we do, all sorts of different things.
Super Bowl parties.
Super Bowl, yeah, we have Super Bowl parties. So it's one of those organizations that the sky is the limit. Whatever you want to do with it is what you're going to take it. So me being a trail runner is really where I push the limit on our group, and we have 3 trail runs throughout the week. We have 2 trail runs on the weekend that I lead, and we've seen people just do amazing things from doing their first 5K on the trail or 5K on the road, all the way to people completing their first marathon now, looking to do a longer race, looking to do a 50K on the trail, and become an ultra marathoner. So it's been amazing growth, both for myself and for the community, being able to connect.
Cool.
Anything, Keith?
No, I don't have any questions.
So we started on this podcast with just the idea of just doing intros, and didn't write down any questions, didn't write down anything that we wanted to specifically talk about. So that's why if we draw to a point where it's just there's no questions, then we'll just keep chucking on.
So
someone's got their hand up.
I raised my hand.
Okay, Joseph.
All right. What's one of your most memorable races that you've ever had since you've started running?
Okay, one of the most. I would say most of them are very memorable, because in any ultra or marathon, you have multiple walls that you hit, or multiple just lows and valleys, and mountains that you peak at. I would say my favorite, most memorable race would definitely be Cactus Rose 100, my 100-mile race that I did in October last year. And I'll go into details then, or another podcast. Maybe we'll write it down, add to the list to talk about. But definitely, that race is the most memorable. Number one, it's my first 100-miler. It took me 29 hours and 49 minutes, I think. What?
I said long time.
Yeah, it took me a long time. So it's just one of those things. It's most memorable, I think, because it took the most out of me. It took the most mental focus. I would say they're probably lying when they say you run the first 50 miles on your legs and the second 50 miles on your heart, because we were still definitely pumping it out. Our physically was still demanding at the end. But it's just one of those things where you have to stay so mentally focused and in the game, and never want to quit, and have an awesome crew that doesn't let you quit when you want to quit, even if you stay at an aid station for an hour. Subway sandwich. You have to have a crew that there is willing to push you out of an aid station. You have to have I guess you don't have to have a pacer, but have to have pacers, willing to go to the lengths that you have to go to make sure that your athlete's drinking or your runner's eating the food that he's supposed to be eating or getting him water when he needs water or anything. Just go through that kind of frustration. So I think it's most memorable because of a lot of that stuff. Probably another top of that thing is Keith was there for 50 miles of it or 17 hours basically. I ran the first 50 miles in 12 hours and the second in 17. So Keith had to spend 17 hours of just dealing with me complaining and wanting to hallucinating.
Dealing with myself.
And then on top of that, that was Keith's first 50-mile run ever. So this is not like a cup of tea for him to get through 50 miles either. So it was really just that it was a mutual support because my first 100-miler, his first 50, we had to kind of be a mutual support and make sure we both got through to the end. I didn't want to drop him even as my pacer. I didn't want to drop him because I wasn't racing it. I was just trying to finish it basically. So that's what most memorable. What about you, Joseph? What's your most memorable race?
I don't know, I have a couple, but probably the one that I can remember the most and actually got me into seriously running was there was a race on 9/11. It was what year was that? It would have been 2011. So 9/11, 2011. I had just got done with summer. I had just started going to community college. You there?
Yeah.
All right. So I had just started going to community college, and I had just finished high school. So normally I'd be in cross country season, but since I was going to my community college for my first year for college, I wasn't in season and I wasn't doing cross country. So I had just started signing myself up for races, and so I signed myself up for a race. It was on Sunday, 9/11, 2011, and I saw like an ad on Facebook or somewhere, and so I wound up just signing up for it. I was like, what the heck, I'll do it. It was a 5K race, and I was like, oh, it'll be fun, this race, just get a good time or whatever. So I start out, and I'm on the front with the front guy. I was like, oh, maybe I'm just feeling good today. And so I wound up going, make it to the halfway point, make it to 2 miles. I'm still up there with the top couple guys, and then make it to like 2.5 miles, and then I wound up just taking off and finishing and getting first. And I think that race, like, even though it only being a 5K, helped me to motivate me to actually want to run more and want to do more. That's why it's my most memorable, I guess. And then there's so many more. There's so many to count, but that race is so memorable to me because it actually helped me to get motivated to run and to get motivated to actually try to run in college and just run longer races and whatnot. So that's why it really, even though it's only 3 miles, it just helped me to look into running. Running can be actually something that's fun and something that I can be good at, and so I figured if I can be good at it, why not just keep on doing it? So.
Do you remember what it felt like pulling away from those people? Right now, I'm reading a book which I want to discuss in a further podcast. I'm just making the list longer. It's called The Perfect Mile, and all 3 guys, Rogers Bannister, Elise or Wes Santee, and I forget the Australian's name, but all 3 of them, have a vivid description of what it felt like to do that, do that first mile, or they remember that 1 mile that they ran, that they were able to just turn on that extra notch or turn on that extra just strength and be able to pull away. So you remember what that feeling was like?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably about halfway during the race. I didn't have a GPS, so I couldn't tell you exact, but I know they did have an aid station, I think at every mile or maybe at the halfway point. So I remember I passed the aid station, and I think they had an aid station at the halfway point. So it would have been a halfway point. And after I passed the aid station, there was a guy behind me, and I think maybe a guy in front of me. I can't remember, but I just took off, and there was a downhill. So it was a downhill, then up, and then a downhill into the finish. And so I wound up just taking off, going downhill, just I'll just keep on going. I feel good. I felt good, so I figured I might as well just keep on running harder. And so I just ran, and then I took the slide uphill, and then it's a downhill finish, and you can see the finish probably about a half mile away. So you can see the finish line. So I was just taking off, and I didn't really know what to do. I was I'm in first. I was this guy behind me is probably gonna catch me. I had never gotten first, never top 10. I don't even think in a race. So I was I'll just take off. If I get to the finish line before he does, then I guess I'll win. So I want to just take it off and sprinting into the finish, and I was I turned around and I'm like the first guy, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, yeah, it was a first annual, but I was like, with my time, I was like, I shouldn't have got first, but I was like, maybe it's just my day. So like that's it. I can't really remember it, but it just like felt like really good, and it was one of those times where like you normally aren't like this good, but you just go, and when you're feeling good, you just sometimes you just gotta keep on going and take off, and that's kind of like really what happened. Like I remember the guy behind me that was in front of me for a while, and we were going at it, passing each other. He would pass me, I'd pass him, and then at one point he just slowed down, and I just took off, and I think that was around like the 1.5 2 mile mark somewhere. So I mean that's kind of what happened. It was so long ago I can't remember everything.
Awesome. We're gonna start to wrap it up. I'm gonna, just start thinking and just go sporadic on. I'm planning on doing segments at the end of this. So the first one that popped in my head was like, what did you eat today, off the top of your head? And if you want, I guess you want to say breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or pick one in between, or whatever. We can just do a real quick. I would say what's for dinner, but I mean, heck, it's 8:45 here and probably only 6:45 there, so I haven't even eaten dinner yet. So what's on the docket today for food, Keith?
Food. This morning, smoothie, 8 bananas, frozen fruit, 2.5 cups of water, smoothie. After I got done with the gym around 2, went to Trader Joe's, got some unpasteurized orange juice, which is about 880 calories or 64 ounces of orange juice. Drank that, went to practice, got home from practice, another 8 bananas with strawberries, frozen strawberries, blended up, drank it, and who knows what's for dinner tonight. If I'm still hungry, I'll probably eat something.
All right, Joseph, what did you eat today?
Well, on my way to school, I had 3 bananas before school, and then after school, I came home, and then for lunch, I don't know how many bananas I put in. I think I probably put 8, and then I just put frozen strawberries. So it's like probably about 1,000 calorie, 1,200 calorie smoothie, and 12 ounces of water also went in that smoothie. And then I came back home after work and haven't ate, so I'm probably gonna make something big for dinner.
Awesome.
What about you?
For me, what's for dinner, or what food did I eat today? Breakfast. Well, I went to PT this morning. Well, ran before PT. Between PT, I had one date roll, so 150 calories. It's like nothing, but it's enough to keep me going for another hour. Once I got home, I put down 10 ounces of rice milk, protein powder from Garden of Life Raw Protein, and coconut sugar in that, so it evens out. It's the same amount of protein calories as it is sugar calories or carbohydrates. After that, put down 64 ounces of water, or not 64 ounces, but a liter of water, about 34 ounces. And then I had, for breakfast, I put 6 ounces of kale and spinach, put that in the bottom of the blender, put, I believe, 7 bananas on top of it. They weren't as ripe as they should be, so whatever. And then I put a half pint of blueberries and a half pint of blackberries on top, and then 2 cups of pineapple juice that wasn't, it's from concentrate, but that's all we can get here. And then for lunch, I had I wound up going to the DFAC, the dining facility here on post, because I had a meeting, a meeting, and there I got a full bowl of spinach, put some cucumbers on top for a small green salad, and then I had 5 bananas and 2 oranges there, so probably not enough, but enough for then. And then it went south. So I have a bad habit of eating really healthy for breakfast and lunch, and then for dinner just saying screw it. So I wound up going to a party this afternoon/evening, and had, I don't know, 6 6 things of popcorn, like bowls of popcorn, small little bowls of cartons of popcorn. Um,
Hey, you don't want to starve.
and then and then I probably put down a few cups of water there. And then I just got home and pretty much ate this entire bag of pretzel chips, everything. And again, it's 100% 770 calories, and about only 35 from fat. So I'll consider that my high carb. And then I'm putting down eating some spicy mustard, and this is 35 calories, 0 from fat. Pretty much all sugar and vinegar.
Basically, that's what it is.
What?
I said, basically, that's what it is.
Yellow mustard, which is vinegar, water, mustard seed, salt, turmeric, and paprika. So, poison diluted with water, right?
But hey, yeah.
Keith never introduced himself.
Yeah, he did. 3 questions.
Oh, that's right.
So, so you guys have any other ideas for segments off the top of your head?
Segment. For next week?
Or for right now?
What's the long run for the weekend look like?
Long run for the weekend. That's what
Training
I
for the weekend.
did. So I guess great minds think alike. I'll go first since I went last on the last one. Long run's going to be 16 miles on Saturday, starting at hopefully at 5:45. The plan is right now it's going to be a hilly, probably about an hour and 15 minutes till 7 o'clock. And it'll be quick because it'll be me and one other faster runner out there. So we'll be putting higher heart rate, hills for an hour and 15 minutes. And then we pick up another group of folks at 7 o'clock. We're going to be taking them on my favorite hilly route that's like 5 miles long, probably only like 600 feet, maybe 600,000 feet of climbing. And we'll be taking them on that. So it'll be a little bit slower. Plan is just to jog the flats and run with them. Once we get to a hill, everyone can sprint up that, and we'll faster people away at the top, and we all jog back down together. Hopefully that's it. So then we'll do that. We'll probably do that one time, meet everybody up at 7:30, then go out for a little bit more and get all 16 miles in. So that's my long run. Just building up. Joseph?
My turn?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. I haven't ran in like 2 weeks, so I'm a little bit set behind. But I'm trying to get back into it, so I'll probably do like a shorter, like longer run, so like probably like 6 miles is as long as I'm going to get this weekend. Because I haven't... What?
So just all the folks out there, if anyone ever does listen to this, because, they could. It's the first episode. Everyone wants to listen to the first episode. All 3 of us are on Strava. So, and I mean, all 3 of us are on a public profile. So again, if you want to hunt Joseph or Keith down, make sure they're actually doing their runs. Go hunt them down on Strava.
Yeah, look us up.
All right, am I still talking?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just do 6 because after Bandura 100K, which was in January, I've taken the last month, 2 months off. Occasionally I'll run here and there, once or twice a week, but now it's March, I'm trying to get back into it and start running again so I can train up to my cross-country season. So this weekend I'll probably start. Every weekend I'll hit a long run, and then during the week I'll just start hitting some shorter runs. So this weekend I figured I'll probably just do 6 miles. Nothing too strenuous, but nothing too easy also. So probably just an easy 6.
That means he's going to run in an hour or less, probably about 45 minutes.
50 minutes probably.
Okay.
Probably take me 50 minutes.
Keith, what about you?
Long run this weekend. Well, I'm in the same boat Joseph is. I mean, I'm probably 6 to 8 miles is where I'll be. I did a 6-mile run or a 10K on, I think it was Monday. I went out and I got a blister on my big toe, so I've been babying it for the past 3 days. So if it's healed by Saturday or Sunday, I'll go out for another run. But if it's not, I'll just take a vacation.
So yeah, shoes are another topic we'll get to. I'm an ambassador for Spora running shoes, and Keith and Joseph both have their favorites. I'm pretty sure all 3 of us are different and have different preferences for shoes. So we'll get that to another podcast.
Yeah.
But for now, we're over our 30 minutes by a few minutes. So if you are listening, or if you ever do listen in the future, thanks for listening. Again, we're the Bridgeforth brothers. There's 2 more of us out there in the world doing something right now.
Soon to be one more. We're about to add one more. Well, he is.
Soon there will be a Bridgeforth son, Bridgeforth brother's son. Yes. But otherwise, again, you can check. We're just gonna throw social media out there. I will go first because hey, that's what I do. So my blog is addictedtorunning.com. You can check me out on Twitter at Alex Bridgeforth, Instagram at Alex Bridgeforth. Hopefully, if you're viewing this on YouTube, you already are on my YouTube channel, or you found my YouTube channel. Again, with Keith and Joseph, they'll probably throw this up on their YouTube channels as well. So we'll go to, and I have Addicted to Running on Facebook. You can contact me there.
What's your Twitter?
At Alex Bridgeforth.
And Instagram?
At Alex Bridgeforth.
He just told you all that, Keith.
Don't worry about Joseph, since he's not paying attention. Joseph, what do you got for? How can people get a hold of you?
Okay, Facebook. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. Just look at my name, Joseph Bridgeforth. You can find me. Nobody else has my name. Twitter, it's at JA Bridgeforth. So it's my initials, JA Bridgeforth. That's also going to be the same thing on Strava, and I think that's Strava. Yeah, Strava, Instagram, Facebook as well. And then on YouTube, it's /Little Bridge, but it's just LIL Bridge 15. Again, if you're watching this, it's probably on my YouTube channel or on Alex's YouTube or Keith's. And what else? Any other social media? My blog. I just started my blog up again. It's jabridgeforth.blogspot.com. Hopefully, I'll be getting my own URL for that soon, but that's what it is for now. So.
Awesome. And then,
anything else?
No, that's good for me.
Good.
Yeah, we'll get some more next week. So, Keith, what do you got?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Keith Bridgeforth. Just type it into the little search box, pull me up. You'll see me. Or you can find me on Twitter at KE Bridgeforth. So it's pretty simple. Or you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/KE Bridgeforth. So pretty simple. I have a blog, but I don't ever blog, so don't go looking for it. But if you want to, it's Love Running at blogspot.com or something like that. I don't have Instagram. I don't have a smartphone, so I don't get Instagrams. Other than that, yeah. So if you're watching this on my video, on my YouTube or one of theirs, make sure you go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe down below.
Yeah. So awesome! Thanks again for listening. Hopefully, in the future, we'll have a cool intro and a cool outro with music and the whole 9 yards. This is something I got to get to, but hey, it's free. Like Rich Roll says, it's gonna be free content for life. So you can complain later, but
you just have to put up the ad. You just have to put up with the ads in the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you gotta skip it, you gotta skip the ads.
So. Again, thanks for listening. We'll be coming out hopefully every week, Fridays or Saturdays, one of those 2 days, because Thursdays will probably be the easiest for me in the future to record them. And then hopefully you guys just enjoy them. If you're running out there, keep it up. And we will talk to you guys next week.
See you later.
See ya.